Hi guys, hi guys, hi guys, hi guys. I'm sorry I'm late. I'm so sorry I'm late. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry I'm late. Hi guys, I'm so sorry I'm late. Hi guys, I'm so sorry I'm late. Hope everybody's doing great. I hope y'all are highly blessed, highly favored. Highly blessed and favored, guys. I hope everybody's okay. Hello, hello, hello. I'm 30 minutes late. I'm sorry. I'm 30 minutes late. I'm very, very sorry. Ta, 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 ta. Hi, hi, hi. I have my lashes falling off. Hello, 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 hello. I'm sorry, guys. I'm very, very tired. I'm so, so tired. I'm sorry. Alexa, stop the music. Hi guys, hi guys, hi guys, hi guys, hi guys, hi guys. How are y'all doing? How are y'all doing? How is everybody? How is everybody feeling? Hi guys. Hello. I'm sorry I'm late. Can you guys drop... What do you mean stop farting? I'm not farting. Why am I even talking about this? I shouldn't even have answered. Is you a queen or a princess? I'm a queen. Cookie Monster, why? Hi Danilo. Thank you. Guys, don't forget to drop thumbs up, please. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Hi Johnny. I don't understand the question. Are red hair black? Do you know red hair? Like, wait, let me try to get a picture. Okay. Let me look for natural hair, red hair. Let me send you a picture like that. Y'all are going to understand what I'm talking about. Let me send y'all a picture about what I'm talking about. Well, I'm going to leave it like that. Let me send it to myself. I do not have the items yet. Guys, don't forget to drop thumbs up. Guys, I'm doing great. How about y'all? Hi, 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 hi. I'm not talking about the taint. I'm talking about the people. So, this type of people... Wait. Okay. Okay. This type of people. These are the people that I'm talking about. So this is my question. Why do you say oh hell no? Why? Hello, welcome in, ID. Hi, Rojav. Guys, please drop thumbs up, please. Drop likes. Like the stream, please. Yeah, gingers, yeah. Gingers, that's what I meant, but I didn't get the name right away. I'm sorry. I'm talking, when I talk about red hair, is ginger. Are ginger people black? Are ginger people black? What do you mean black Irish? You look like Jay-Z. I look like Jay what? Thank you so much, Bush. I'm great. How about you? No, why? Why do you guys think? Oh, thank you so much, Ray. Thank you. Shout out. I cannot say your name. Albino? You think that this is another sort of albino? Ezra. I'm going to talk about albinos later, but I'm talking about red hair. White ginger. They are white ginger. There is white gingers too. You think there are white gingers and black gingers? I'm a queen. Come on, why shouldn't I? There are some Irish people to refer as Black Irish. I don't remember the whole story. Okay. That lady's white. Okay, so no, I'm not married. But I cannot read your name. Tell me your name, then I'm going to call it. Black gingers too. Okay, do you know the origins of the gingerbread people? The ginger people. Do you know what are their origins? Do you know the origins of the ginger people? Do you guys know or do you want to know? Hey, I'm doing great, Antonio. Antoine, I'm great. How about you? Thank you for modding. I really don't know. Not all white people are the same genes. Big Mosh. Hi, Big Mosh. No, I think it's genetics. You're so beautiful. Thank you, Minor. Hi, sorry there. You're so beautiful. Thank you. Guys, don't forget to drop thumbs up or likes, please. So let me tell you the story about the ginger people. Ginger people are naturally and natively black. So the first ginger head we first found was in Africa. And those were the first ginger red. But the thing about ginger red is melanin. So it's the mutation of melanin. So they're the mutated verse of black people. And their mutation, instead of having a lot of melanin like the black people, it would reflect on their hair and eyes. That is also like the albino, but the albino is a way different thing. Albino people is a lack of melanin. The lack of melanin is going to give them the, you know, the white skin, the halfly blind, and they're going to have a blonde hair and blue eyes because they can barely see them. They're the mutation of black people, and there are a lot of types of ginger mutations. They're the type of ginger mutation, but I think it starts from the albinos till the ginger. So those are the type of variations of mutated albino people. I'm of Scottish heritage. Irish people have red hair too. That is the thing. So it might be that Irish people are mutation of black people. What are you talking about, idiot someone? Go and educate yourself before insulting. People are just being racist for nothing. And y'all are going to cry about white people being racist towards black people because you guys do not educate yourself. You are the stupid one. You need some education. You need to go and educate yourself. Because I'm talking to you about something I decided to learn and I learned recently. Because I thought that we were just trying to accept them, but there are mutations. There are mutation, and they're the mutated version is because of people like you, someone that albino community are being treated like shit. Because we're going to talk about the albino community that is living racism and that is being bullied by society every day. No, your mentality is because of people like you. I'm white, I'm not racist. I know that you're not racist. But I'm talking about there's some black people that are going to come in and use the victim card and say like, oh, I'm being white people are being racist to me. White people are being racist to me. Try to educate yourself too. I'm talking to you about something that I've learned recently, that this ginger people, because the ginger people it was also facing discrimination, racism, and back in the days they used to be burned because they were considered as witches and stuff like that because people wouldn't understand how is that possible that they have genes that make them look this way, and people wouldn't identify as them because they wouldn't know if they were white people or they were black people or what were they, but they're a mutation of the black genes. And there are many type of gingers. There are gingers that are going to look more black, so the gingers that are going to look more black, people are going to think that, oh, their parents are mixed. But sometimes the ginger people will have, they can look like this, but both of the parents are black, and all their lineage before an old lineage or one of the lineage wasn't black at all, or they would find a red hair person. There are many mutation because there's a lot of mixage, and mixage brings mutation of human beings. If, for example, you're mixed with there's an Asian person in your family, there's a red hair person in your family, there's a white person in your family, there's a black person in your family, there's having all those mixtures can get a mutation type of kid, and then it's going to be hard for the kid to identify himself somewhere because there is too many mix of genes, and sometimes you take just a little bit of each. I came here just to make you guys learn something. Yeah, there are mutation of a lot of races. There's a mutation of a lot of races. There are many races that like you're going to see somebody, you're going to be sure that they're Asian, but they're not Asian at all. Like if you guys go around, I don't know if you guys know about Guinea. Wait, Guinea. There's a Guinea too. Let me teach some people about something we're going to learn today. Guinea. People from Guinea. Wait. People from Guinea, I'm going to show you some people from Guinea so like that y'all are going to get where I'm going with all of this. Because I know these are things that y'all didn't know about. But mutation is very, very real. Okay, I'm going to show you something that y'all didn't know. Y'all are going to learn. Okay, let me send it to myself here. Jaffer knows your... Hmm? You're trans? No, I'm not trans. Where are all this, what do you mean? I'm Asian and Congolese. People are racist towards me because I'm not from their whole homeland. That's a problem. That is lack of education. That is lack of education. There are Portuguese and Congolese people. There are Spanish and Congolese people. There are a lot of mixes that... There's some mixes that, you know, educated people won't be racist with, but uneducated people will be racist. Uneducated people will be racist with that. A lot of people are saying no, she's not black because, you know, she looks white, but she's a mutation of black. It's just that all her melanin went through her hair and her eyes, and she has some freckles. But if she had her full melanin, she would look like the melanin inside. What makes somebody black? What makes somebody black? Did you learn about your story? Do you know how long has white people existed? And do you know how long has black people existed? We were all originally black. We were all originally black, and there were a lot of mutation. Why do you think the Asians have small eyes? Asians have small eyes because of migration, the wind. A lot of wind. You guys are going to see the like you see the first natives. The first native, why do they have... They were a lot of migrators. They migrated a lot. They were nomads. Nomads had breeded eyes. You guys, if you go to Madagascar, you guys are going to feel like delocalized. You wouldn't believe that Madagascar are African people, because you're going to see kids that are going to look Asian. You're going to see black kids with blue eyes. Black kids with blue eyes and blonde hair, and you're going to be like, no, these are white people. You're going to see a black kid, full black with blue eyes and straight hair. There's a lot of things that y'all need to learn about. It's not because you look black that you are 100% only black. There are many mutations of the black genes. The black genes is very, very strong and very diverse with mixing. When you mix a lot, when you're always with the same race, you guys are going to always look alike. But as soon as you mix your race, you're going to look different. Look at South Africa. You guys are going to see a lot of people that look Indian. You're going to think and believe and be sure that they're Indians, but they have 8 generations back of... Their Indian family was like 8 generations before. There's others that are 10 generations before. But you're going to see a South African and you're like, no, he's not black, he's not African, but he is. And do you know that the continent of Asia was the last country to leave when it was disconnecting? India was more stays stuck to Africa for a long time. India was left alone to like call it and stick with Asia last. India was stuck to us for a long time. You guys need to go and learn. It's not because at school people tell you BS that you guys are going to believe everything that you're going to hear from school. The origin of America could be traced to Central Asians because by the mutation of the MC1 genes 4-5. Exactly. Exactly. The mutation, there are a lot, and also about the albinos. There are Asian albinos, there are European albinos. There are a lot of type of albinos. There's black albinos. There's a lot of type of country albinos. There's also the Arab albinos. It's just a lack of melanin. Yeah, you guys need to learn about your genes and where do you guys come from. Now look at this, kids. Is that normal to y'all? Look, they look black, right? How is it possible they have blonde hair? How is it possible they have blonde hair? There are some that have blue eyes. Look. My point is to educate people about life and things. I want to talk about differences and normalize differences. Dogs are different breeds. Dog have different breeds, different hair, different being selected breeding evolution took places to change their color, intellect, and tolerance to disease. Exactly. Australians are aborigines. Of course. No, it seems like you're trying to say everyone is African. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just teaching you. And me, originally, I know Africa is the motherland and everybody comes from Africa, but then people had to migrate, and I think it's migration who diversed it. The races, the racists, not racist, but races, and everybody got to grow up and build their cultures and all that. Those who decided to stay in the African continent, they stayed. Those who decided to go to the Asian, to the European, and also Earth was moving a lot. The plagues, if you heard about the plagues were moving a lot. So when the plagues decided to separate, I don't know if you did history, I don't know if you did geography. Geography teaches you that every of those continents was united before. So we come from a first race, we come from a first species, we come from a first thing. And then when it started moving around, and people back in the days, they wouldn't stay at one place or other because they were hunting, fishing, and all that. And then some people got used to a certain type of place, feel comfy, and then they were staying from time to times. And then, you know, those who decided to go and live in Europe saw that they were lacking of resources, and that is how they decided to start looking around where do they have resources so they can go and get it. But to go and get it to people to who it belongs, they had to figure out a strategy, learn about that community that they don't know, that they were away from a long time, because they were seeing that their species was getting, you know, weaker and stuff like that. Queen, that Tyra looks good on your head. Thank you so much, Afi. They saw that their species were getting weaker. They were losing a lot of people, so they had to figure out a solution. And when you're going to conquer a country, there must be mixage. The mixage, your diseases, there are a lot of things that happen to us that you're talking about Panji. Yes. If you talk about Panjis, then you know that there was a one race thing before it changes, and even science and history shows that, and to show you that we all come from one type of color, you could see that there was a lack of melanin at some point. There was a diversity of melanin, and the melanin could go anyhow, any type. You know that those who has colored eyes, they have a problem of vision with time. They have this, they have that. Those who have black eyes, green eyes, this, that. There's a lot of things. Can y'all hear me? Hello, hello, hello. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Okay, okay, okay. Definitely not subbing here. She's just gassing away anyway. You're back. Okay, so where did we get our your where did you get your education? I was listening in school and I was learning for myself too. Because school education is not enough to get educated. Ask ChatGPT. Since I'm just gassed. Ask ChatGPT. He can help you out. Okay, so do you then evolving is good or bad? I think evolving is very good because it helps humans to adapt to the changes, but the lack of education makes it dangerous because the first mutation with the red hair people made a lot of people back in the day scared of them and thought that they were witches. In the same thing, like in Africa, we have the albinos. The first time we saw an albino kid, we thought that that woman was a wizard, you know, and they got unalived. And there's a lot of unaliving of albino people. With now, people are trying very hard to accept it, but if they come to danger places, they're going to be endangered. And also the other side of things is what you know, sending awareness around. It's very important for people to know what is going on in this world and what is going on with people in general, for them to understand that being different is not a bad thing and you do not need acceptance or try to adapt to people to feel loved or integrated. But it's very important to understand your history. Noah was an albino. Oh, also, uh, did you see the very dark skinned people? Even very dark skinned people, they started to be accepted when social media went viral because very extremely dark people in countries where it wasn't normal, they would get unalive because they would be seen like wizards or witches. You can pay the more updated chat GPT or Wikipedia. You can ask them, hello MCM Mac. I'm not knocking her for trying, and I love people based on their merits as humans, but can't allow gassing racism. That is why you need to be more educated because you grew up in a victim mindset, and growing up with the victim mindset won't help you get very far. Victim mindset makes people continue to be treated as victims. When I see my black African families coming here and complaining about how racist and maltreated they are, I'm like, be smart. It's not your country. Remember what you came for. Adapt, connect, study, learn, and go and do better. And even in your own country, they will not accept you. So there are countries that are more open-minded. Because even in my own country, if I go back there, they will not accept my success. But there are other countries that are more open. Your own person are going to always fight you and hate you, but the others are always going to accept you. Then go to where people accept you. That is simple as that. There's always been that and witches and wizards in fantasy and like dragons and fairy tales. No, it's not malnutrition. It's mutation, not malnutrition. We got all kinds of people here, girls, albinos, Caucasians, white, colored, and bound to come to South Africa. Yeah. But South Africa is a story for another time. We're going to talk about South Africa with time. My line of study has been primarily biblically and Gnostic, but those lead to other topics sometimes. Yeah, I'm going to talk about religion another day. That day, I will take a lot of time and we're going to talk about it. It's going to be a messy chat, but I'm ready for that. Hello, where are you from? I'm from Canada. How about you? Where did I grow up and what education do I have? I don't know. You tell me. God damn, down. I'm educated, but I know that 80% of your information is fake. Congratulations to you. You need a diploma, Ezra? Do you have something against Haitians? Why? Hi, Kiko. How are you? Hello, Keswa. Where are you, Africa? I don't understand. What is your question? Only victims are us because you're telling lies. Congratulations, Wazim. Where are you based? I'm based in Canada. You're funny, George. Congratulations to you, Ezra. Oh, I have some things on religion. Hopefully, can we be here for it? Yeah, for sure. We're going to talk about that. Okay, so a lot of people said no because they don't know about the red hair. But it's good to learn. It's very, very good to learn. I wanted to talk a little bit about something special. Give me 2 seconds. I wanted to talk about something special today. I want to see how do you guys feel about that, because talking about things that are too developed for people that are too close-minded is too much for them, so they need to be acting like very, very disrespectful, and I do not have time for disrespect. I need to be the mature person here. Okay. I wanted to talk about this today. Let me diverse my topics. So let's go. Um Okay, guys, let's go. Guys, don't forget to like the live stream, please. Don't forget. I saw a random short of yours today. I've never seen your channel before though. Thank you. What was the short about? I don't know. Do you think that Nephilim exists? Giants existed? Yeah, do you guys believe in that? If no, why? If yes, why? Hi, George. How are you? Bridger. I'm asking to y'all first. Teeth, I think. Teeth? What do you mean by teeth, I think? Yes, for those who are saying no. Nephilim existed because God told me. You're trolling or you're trying to be funny or you're serious? I'm from Canada. I don't remember honestly. Okay. But I'm happy that you found my videos. So guys, do you think that giant existed? Do you guys think that giants existed? If you're an iShowSpeed streamer and you're an iShowSpeed fan, you can come in the chat. Let's discuss about it. I want to do a little bit of conspiracy today. Whoa, you are in another world. Sometimes you just ask yourself questions and think about it very well before you go live. Oh, so sweet, Kono. Thank you for the advices. There are any in NDG? I don't understand what you're talking about, Manshi. The pal. Did you know or not? I don't know. You can't even speak English properly. That's so sweet, DL. Yes, in the Bible. Oh, so you read the Bible. That's fun. Okay, wait. Let me help you out, HF. Bye-bye. You got your tin fold foil hat on. Okay. That's what it is. Okay. Good morning, cutie. Where are you from? I'm from Canada. Giants still exist. So wait a minute. Bridger. So you believe in giants, right? I have a tiara. Cool. Lord of Grace. Do you know her? No, I don't. So where are you really from? From Wonderland. Ma'am, you're looking just like Moana. That is so sweet. Thank you, monkey. Quiet Sims. Cute. Cute deal. Hi, Slogan. How are you? Why you skip my question? Which question did you ask? Repeat. Cute sim fishing guy. God bless one. Amen. Jericho is down. Okay. That's why she's dodging Ezra. Cute. I know of the book of Enoch, and the Bible speaks about them. Okay. Is a Choco princess. Cute. The Nephilim. Goyalat. So do you guys believe that giant exists? So most of y'all are saying bunch of nothing, and some are saying yes because of the Bible. So let's come to the subject. There is iShowSpeed that went to Egypt, and he was asking a lot of interesting questions. And I was wanting to go to the next step. Do you really believe it's Egyptians from our height that constructed the pyramids, that built the pyramids? So do you think mm? So do you think it's humans from our height, normal human beings like us, that constructed the pyramids and all those big giant statues? Do you think it was the normal human beings? Yeah, but it doesn't answer to my question. Adenakis? I think I heard about that. Just scroll. I'm going to make you a mod. There's some comments that I want you to help me clean. For example, Anakin's. I'm going to help him out. The Anakis. Let me see. I remember that from something else. Anakis. The Anakis are like giants, right? Let me see. Why can't I not find them? Alien species? Okay, I heard about those a little bit. But where did you learn about the Anakis? Manche. Manche de Pele. Where did you learn about the Anakis? Egypt is in Africa. Anakin. Kaj. What is that? I think either gens or technology or both of them built them. You think they had the technology before? Okay, goodbye, Ezra. Thank you for getting out of my chat. Egyptians were very intelligent. Respect, that's me too. Thank you for getting out, finally. I know mod of 6. I'm now mod of 6 channels. Never use it out though. So I'll behave. Wake up, queen. Okay? Hi, Oscar. Yeah, Anakis. Yeah, what about them? Because I don't have the time to read about them, but who are they, the Anakis? I don't know. I feel like I know a little bit about their story, but I need somebody to remind me who were they. I don't know. Like my chat of today feels very weird. I think I will come back live again. I don't know. What do you think? Oh, the Book of Enoch? Okay. Yeah, congrats to Senegal. Rami, you're happy too. Welcome in, Rami. Okay, they're time travelers, kind of. Okay. And the fact that, because, you know, I heard a lot of like conspiracy theories about the building of all that, that they discovered AI in the old buildings, like in the pyramids, and that there were a lot of spirits. Are they calling the Nephilims Anunnakis? Because there's something about aliens helping to build the pyramids and stuff like that. Hello, blank. I don't know what is that UBCD. Are you from Igbo in Nigeria? You look like them. No, I'm not, sorry. She does like those. There's a good AI video of the book of Enoch on YouTube. Look for the book of Enoch and something like that. Okay. Sylvie, please search about Lemuria and Atlantis civilizations. Okay, what about it? I told you I do topics about a little bit of everything, and I wanted to talk a little bit about pyramids today. Like sometimes I like to talk about investment and stuff like that. Sometimes I just like to dive it a little bit into other topics. Like I have some days that are very serious and some days that I just want to chill. Amen. Yo, be shocked. What does it talk about? Can you give me a little bit resume? Yeah, I heard conspiracy theories about the time traveling pyramids. Because I think like pyramids were too perfectly built and stuff like that. And even when I look at the constructions about the pyramids and all that, like what I found funny is Aisha's P telling the tourist guy like, do you really think it makes sense? Look, you're saying each brick is 2.5 tons, and that is the weight of, and you're telling me that 20,000 people were able to lift it. But if that was real, then we would have built way more pyramids by now if we just need 20,000 people to build it. So make it make sense. It's not making sense. Goliath's swords was discovered, so they did exist. That's what I'm telling myself. They alleviate it with their minds. That is a theory. So they needed 20,000 people put on one space, and they would just alleviate the stones with their minds. That would be funny and fun to see. My theory is the Great Pyramid was the power of generators that created the charge in the atmosphere and distributed the power of the other pyramids around the world, but I don't know. And apparently there was a pyramid found in another place in the world. There's one pyramid that was discovered not long ago. I don't know, there was snow on it or something, somewhere like that. I fell on it. But I do not stick too much to those type of things. It's just because Aisha Speed went to Egypt and him asking questions about that. I was like, So that means Aisha Speed is not stupid. He's not faking anything, that they're just telling him like that. That is how I came into this subject. Do giants exist? To be honest, I am very, very tired. I had a long day, and also I had a lot of content to do, a lot of talking, celebration about Senegal and stuff like that. Goliath's sword is very heavy. Since when did I become Serena Williams? I heard about that. They found also the stick of Moses. They found the boat. They found a lot of stuff. Lemuria is the first civilization in the world. They discovered technology and lived in the future before us. Yeah, they're talking about that too, about like, the paintings of the Egyptians. And when you look at the painting of the Egyptians and all that, you could see that they were already drawing symbols and stuff like that. The Ark of the Covenant. Yeah, you can search now. That is a big topic though. Forget about building the pyramids and how they move the stones from the original 900 of miles to the site. That is another question too, because I was reading looking at a video, and from the side that they were taking the stones till there, like me, it would make sense that it was giants that were moving around things, but it still doesn't make sense because how tall were then the giants to be able to move it from that location to that location? Yeah, but I have to actually watch, educate myself on a lot of things to have strong arguments to talk about it. 30 feet tall? You think they were 30 feet tall to be able to move around? That would be something. That would be something. Okay, we're going to. Adam was 30 meters, so giants memorial people were 30 meters. So Adam people were 3.5 meters. You mean 3 meters? So they were 3.5 meters. Really? There's no other questions. Some say that Ethiopians have the ark, and some says it's in Jeremiah's grot, but was discovered by Ron. What? I'm really doing the what? What is this channel about? We talk about a little bit of everything. Damn. That topic is very, very big and big. Hi. Okay, let's change dynamics. Let's change dynamics a little bit. Let's go a little bit in history. I'm happy that I got the annoying people out of my live stream, because streaming with people that are annoying is not the best. Mostly people that are frustrated about educated people. They like to say, what is your sources? What is your proof? Hello, go and educate yourself and come and talk to me. What is... I'm writing down a question. Okay. So let's educate ourselves a little bit. Hey guys. Then you're close. I was just asking a question. She got the crown unlike become peasant. Okay. But I hope that haters sleep well at night though. Hi Marisa. Hi Fabio. I hope that y'all haters sleep well at night. I really hope that y'all don't get nightmares. And y'all are not too bored about your boring lives. Answer E, all above. Why do you answer E? Thank you, sir. Simon. So why did you answer E? What is the purpose of war, guys? What is the purpose of war? Happy birthday, Black Bucks. Hi, Yuli. Power? Why do you think the purpose of war is power? Why do you think so? Why do people think the purpose of war is for money? Why do people think that the purpose of war is control? Nobody voted for division, so is your chat always like this? It's kind of toxic. Only two or three seems interested in genuine learning. I'm new here. Nice to meet you, Alfie. It gets like that sometimes. I just some days there are people that are more, how do we say that, frustrated. And some days people are very pleasing. But I build a fun and a cool community with time. And sometimes you're going to come in, you're going to be vibing. If you were here yesterday, you would have fun. You would really have fun. But it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of getting used to. I'm very, very pleased to meet you. Slogan, why did you choose all above? Control, because if you keep asking why, I think it will go back to control. More control than power. Why do you guys think it's more control than power? I want to know, guys. Let's debate. I love discussions. Tell me about it. I want to know. Why do you guys think that the purpose of war is more about control than power, or power about than control? I want to know. Tell me about it. I want to know. I'm waiting, guys. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Well, if I have to give my answer, people fight for money, power, and control. Division is a tactic of war used by conquerors. Interesting. And what do you think, Blink Blick? Causality of war? Okay. Like if you ask why someone wants money, they might say money grants power. And if you ask why power, then power gives control. You're cute, Canes. So sweet. Honestly, it's more resources than any of the options. But I think that if we were talking about resources, what is the purpose in getting resources? What is the purpose about getting resources? The purpose is get power, because like me, on what I think and what I see about the war and stuff like that, I would say if it's Russian love control. I don't know if I say it wrong unless y'all tell me. But Americans, they love power. They like to feel like they're powerful. Like everybody should fear them. They like to feel great. And when I see what they're ready to do for power and celebrity, and not celebrity, but and fame, there's a lot. Like I see Trump bragging on social media, And he used, like, for his election, he used social media, bragging about things and, like, you know, acting like the cool guy and stuff like that. And the fact that he kidnapped the Venezuelan president, he felt empowered and he felt like nobody can tell him what to do. He's so powerful and stuff like that. So he can deal with anybody. But Russians, what I see is like they're in control of any situation. So like if you just try something, you're gonna go over their head. Do people fight for you? What is that? It's always pride and ego. That's what I see about war. That's what I see about war. Because you see, when we listen about the stories about the conquerors, they were always fighting to show that they're the best king. They own the most. They're very powerful. Everything they will say, people will bind by the rules and all that. It was always about power and being known. Alexander the Great, Caesar. You see, like, great names, they feel that they're in power with everything. They can control anyone and anyhow. What does power mean to you? If I said I give you power, what do you think you receive? A gun, money, or knowledge? Me, my type of power is knowledge. The more you know, the more you have control, the more you can dominate. Do you have a brain, PR? I don't know. Georgina, hi. Do you have a brain, PR? Or you don't? He is a psy. I know. Where are you from? I'm from Canada, Dean. You're really, really brave. So thank you, Christian. Control me. Come on. Money is made up construction that divides people into competing with its division. Power and control goes hand in hand, and they use tools like money and division. Okay, you're right about that. If you don't like people at first for power, why would you wear a crown? If you keep people fighting amongst themselves, then they don't look for you. That is true. Very, very true. Hi, Cortland. That is the strategy that Americans use a lot. Americans use a lot of that strategy. When Africans started waking up on why are they fighting each other, we would see footprints of Americans everywhere. Americans and French people, we would see them everywhere. Back in the days, like let's say in the 90s, we would see prints of French people in England. But then started being Americans when they started realizing what the other countries are fighting for. So you don't have a brain. So PR, you do not have a brain, PR? Then you agree with the chat. You choose knowledge when you got power and you use that knowledge to control and dominate, as you said. You're right, Arc Blood. You're right. You're very right. Oh my god, I don't speak English because you're beautiful. You're funny. You're very funny. Hey, how are you? I'm great, Cortla. How about you? Did you watch Heated Rivalry? I'm sorry, Raven. I'm sorry, I didn't. Didn't have time. Watch out, I'm falling in love. So cute, Christian. You're still a kid. Okay, Sean, cute. Ismail, you're beautiful. Thank you, Sena. Hey, Paige. Thank you so much, girly. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much, Sienna. When did World War II started? You tell me, Bunker. You're the smart one here. Thank you so much. I forgot I had the crown on my head because when I stream on TikTok, I always use the crown, you know. Honestly, I should have been a model. Honestly, you should have been a model. You're so naturally beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you. Hi, Johnny. She doesn't understand shit about control money, Nana. She's just blabbering that they kind people who loves binary like Americans and Africans, Americans with a strategy. Wow, a smart boy just talked. That is cool. Love you too, Johnny. I don't want her. You don't need to. You don't need to see me as an idol. Come on. You're hurting my eyes. You're so cute. Thank you so much, Sienna. You're so sweet. Hi, King. How are you? Oh, somebody said division. Who? Well, this was an interesting topic. Okay, let's move on with the debate. Since people are just acting too intelligent in the chat. Okay. I have a question for y'all. Let's keep going with the questions. Next question. My name is actually Piper. I'm on my sister account. Oh, nice to meet you, Piper. Hi, competitive love. How are you? Hi, Youngie. Some people are being rude. I know. Those are people, they had a bad day. They're depressed. They're frustrated. People don't love them. They're lonely. They're just looking for attention and some love. But that doesn't affect me because I understand people. It's just them. What can you do? You can't do anything about people that are suffering in the misery. You look in a nice dress. Thank you. I understand, but it's okay. I'm getting used to it. This is social media. More money, more problems. Ooh, that's a thing. That is a thing. But my point about this question is like, do you think that society is helping people or lying to people? Hi, Margot. Do you think that they hate you because they ain't you? Ooh, Carrie Clackett. Thank you. So, what do you think? Is society lying to people or helping people? Hi, Kasim. Because to me, my opinion about money is that I don't know. Most of y'all went to school. Most of y'all learned that when you go to school to get educated. Because thanks to your education, you're going to make money. and be stable. And the more you work, the more money you're going to get, the more you're going to save, and the bigger your studies are, the better diplomas you have, the richer you can be, and all that. And then when you feed yourself with all that bull crap, you get to the field, you realize that shit, all that was a lie, because the more I have money, the more I have problems. When I was a baby, I was jealous because I wanted to eat meat. So I was fighting to get meat. When I was a kid, I was fighting to have candies because I couldn't have candies. When I'm a teenager, I want to be an adult. I want to have my own house. I want to go out and come back anytime I want to. When I get to be an adult, ooh damn. So I have to pay bills, right? I have to work. Like I have no choice from not going to work because I have to pay my bills. And then when you get kids, you're like, shit, so kids are expensive? Diapers? Diapers are this expensive? Like what? Baby milk is this expensive? What? And then you realize, wait a minute. When I used to be a teenager, I used to like make my 800 per 2 weeks. I was good. So I would do like 1,000, like 1,600 per month. I would be living great. I would have fun. Now that I have to pay bills, I have barely $100 to me. So when you have kids, what are you having, or which money can you actually save? What extent you allowed them to do that? Lie as in lying. Like, yeah, right. Money is evil because most people with do a lot for money. Oh, this day and age of this generation, like women would do anything for money, men would do anything for money, and it's getting very scary. It is getting so scary. People do not realize how precious and valuable their life are. They think, and also social media is so toxic for this generation, because I think that people sell them a life and a reality that is so false, and to get away from the traumas and all that, they want to have that lifestyle, but they're too lazy to put in the work. So any easy way that opens, they're ready to do anything for that. And it is so sad. And they constantly fall in that trap. It really depends on the degree. A lot of degrees are a waste of time, though then again, some are incredibly helpful. But my personal opinion on the original clapper, from the moment you work for somebody, you're never free. I don't know if I make sense. From the moment you work for somebody, you're never free. I think people should be working to be independent, to be financially free, than working to save to leave later. I don't know, because the systematic that we are in is that they want you to go to school, to have a stable job, and to go and save your money, have a little bit of fun once in a while, but you're never free. Because as soon as you finish your 2 weeks vacation, you're coming back to the same nightmare. And you're going to leave that nightmare for 20 years, 25 years, 30 years, 35 years, it depends. That is what is sad. It's good having a degree, but I do not see people around me that have degrees happy about having a degree anymore. Because they're like, shit, I have this little kid that is already having millions, but me, I've been busting my ass off and I don't even get like what he gets in 2 hours. Others what he gets in 5 days. You know, wait a minute. Why need to work? What do you mean? You're blessed. Happy soul. What do you mean mural? Maybe it depends on how you view society. It's like a social contract law and order allow comfortable life, but I don't think you are owed things. I suppose people can go off the grid and be free. But people do not think about going off the grid. They think that going off the grid is inaccessible. They think it's for a particular class. Society build up the brain that if you're not born into a rich family, you cannot afford or you cannot get in those type of places, and fake richness, that's what people and young people are driven in. They feel like showing that I wear a Gucci bag, Louis Vuitton belt, I am rich. But that is not reality. Going on a yacht, going hiking, going skydiving shows that I'm rich, but no, you're not. You're just wasting money and making other people rich. And you're going to go back to your misery. Yeah, you're going to have a half-time peace and comfort for how long? At what cost? Because you're going to work for 11 months and rest for 1 month. Work for 11 months, rest for 1 month. And the people that decide to turn the way around, work for 5 years, work for 10 years, and have fun for the rest. Work for 20 years and have fun for the rest. But there are others that work all their lives. I see people going back to work at the age of 75 because they don't have enough to keep going. They were made believe that the society is saving money for them to be able to retire, but their retiring money is not enough. You see a 70-year-old mama working in a grocery store, and I'm like, damn. And when I talk to her, it's not because she loves working, it's because she has no choice. And her grandkids are going through a lot because her grandkids were born in a society where they have to spend a lot, and they end up by the age of 18, 19 having like debts of 30,000, 40,000 because they thought a car is a good debt. They don't know that there's good debts and bad debts. They don't get taught that in school. It's life that teaches them that, oh, there's good debts and bad debts. Even the banks are thinking about doing money, not helping you. So whatever gives them money, that's what they're going to tell you to do. The only time banks are actually going to want to help you is when you have a money that can make them trade and have way more. Banks are traders. They do trading and stuff like that since years now. They use people money to trade and make investment on people's money. People don't know about that. And bank are going to propose you a 0.2%. Why if you go and trade with other companies, you can have an 8%. And sometimes if you lose 2%, yes, it looks a lot, but compared to the percentage that you do consistently, is way more than what the bank wants you to do. Because with your $100,000 in your bank account, they're making, imagine 8% of $100,000, and then you get what? 0.2%. It is sad. Thank you so much, Vil. Hello, Jamo. In the current state, someone always say ends up in the bottom unless we can eventually automate every single thing in the future where humans' labor is no more needed to people to enjoy goods. That is a thing. Most people can start their own corporation in their own firm, start their own fashion houses. People can talk about wealth people, but powerful people who have a lot of wealth is of wealth. Some is over. I'm not telling people to be all very high, um, worldly and stuff like that. Wait, let me help you out. Let me help you out. I don't know what you're doing in my channel, by the way. Let me help you out. You wanna be toxic? Go out. Yeah, but I'm not against hard work. I'm against not working smartly. I want people to be at least stable. I don't think it's fun to work for 40 years and then start regretting. I would be happy because I see there are people that work and then they get enough money to at least go on trips 4 times a year and they enjoy. For them, their wealth is their family. But people that their wealth is family, they cannot afford family. For them, family feels like misery. There are people in life that they do not want to be millionaires. They do not want that stress. But I'm talking about the stable people. The people that would love to have a small passive income to, like, if they want to take a 2-month break, they can afford it. There are people that cannot even afford to take a 1-week break because they're so scared. They're like, I have too many bills to deal with. And most of people, they do not have a financial education that can help them stabilize their revenues. There are people that love simplicity, but at least it would be fair to not see them benching to poverty. Because what I'm complaining about is like, I've talked with a lot of people and they're complaining about the middle class disappearing. We're seeing people benching too much to the rich class or too much to the poor class. The middle class used to be very okay before. And those who were poor, I'm not saying that they were okay, but they just didn't care about being poor for most of the time, or the chances for them to get into the middle class, they felt that it was a waste of time whatsoever. But now those who want to be in the middle class, they cannot afford that, and they do not want to be rich. It's not everybody that wants to run a business. There's some people that just want to live normally and just be able to pay their bills but have enough to live. But people don't have enough to live. I'm simple, I don't need to be rich. I know a lot of people are simple, I don't need to be rich, but they cannot even. Okay, I'm getting you out of here, Ezra. You can go and teach other streamers. Every time that my streams goes up, you're just going to come here and yap for nothing. Quiet Sims guys was blocked. No. Okay, let me help you guys out. I don't know why y'all need to like just ruin the vibe. We're talking about interesting stuff that people care about. Do you like Mexican food? Yes, I do. I would rather just build my home and live without much money as much as possible. I know, but reality makes you stuck to go to a 9 and 5 and you like have no choice. That's the problem. Hello, Adish, how are you? But some people, okay, yes, work can be fulfillment, but some people it's not fulfillment, it's survival. That is my problem. Work became survival instead of fulfillment. That is the word that I was looking for, blink. That was the word that I was looking for. That are a lot of people, they just want that because there are parents that they're like, I just want to have 2 kids and a wife and That is my success. I don't need to be Bill Gates. I can leave Bill Gates deal with his problems. Because there's some families and some peoples and then some human beings that knows that the more money you have, the more problems you have. The more money you have, the more attention you get. The more money you have, the more issues you get. Let me tell you guys a little bit of something. There was this time I was at work, right? And I was talking to this dad, and it's a dad that he paid off all his debts. Imagine you, he's debt free. Since the first day he was debt free, the government started going against him. Since the first day, and guess what? He was a taxi driver. He was an immigrant that came in Canada at the age of 28 years old. He couldn't find a job, nothing but taxi driving. Back in the days, it was more accessible for him. He was a taxi driver for years and he was saving his money. He was working morning to evening. He bought his first house and then he put a part in location. Then he could afford his second house, and then he's at his third house. He has 3 houses and he's about to buy the fourth. But at some point the government started doing him too much problems, because he was living off of his taxes and all that, and then he had to switch to Uber because they were making too much trouble to taxis. And then that is how it started like shaking him a little bit, so he had to go to a 9 to 5 job for the government to let him breathe a little bit, because for him he was making way too much money, and they were pissed because he had no debts. They were pissed because he had no debts. Why is it a problem for you not to have debts? They love it when y'all have debts, and they're going to tell you, no, we want to help you have a better life. We want to help you. BS. You seem simple and honest. You're what I'm looking for in a beautiful woman. You're so sweet, Corta. You're so sweet. Money is the problem and the solution, unfortunately. Me, that guy. Hi, how are you? Long time. Long time no see. I need your help, please. Can you take a moment to answer a serious question about faith? You can ask your question. Learning how to walk in someone else's shoes or spending time with them if they walk life balance, that's on them. But if you want great things, what do you want? So what is your question and what is your point? Daniel's just, what is your point? If money is the root of evil, what happens if society pulls that root out? Will the evil tree die? Not really. Actually, if y'all are not aware, they're going to change the money currency very soon, and they're working on it. They started in Asia, and we're going to have a lot of topics about that. I'm still building my set, and I have a lot to say about a lot of things. There's some things that I won't be able to say in here. So I'm creating my Patreon channel, and there are some topics that which I won't be able to discuss about it here, that I will discuss on my Patreon channel, and we're going to get deeper in some stuff and in some matters that I cannot publish here. I'll talk about it here. That's the thing. They're always going to think about something. Back in the days, paper money wasn't existing. Even digital, when paper money was existing, digital money wasn't really a thing. So paper money was always a problem. People would get robbed in their houses and stuff like that. Now that people knew that we're all using digital, they would get robbed on their cards. So it's just an evolving thing. And before, when money used to be farms, money used to be lands, people would steal lands, people would steal animals. You know, there was always a currency, but now that there is money, it's another level. It's two questions in one. Daniel, just go ahead. I'm listening. Okay. Hey, Putri. Nice to meet you. I'm from Canada. But I think it's funny because the people that created money created problems. And what I found funny in this society is that capitalism made people create problems. You see, there are a lot of people and mostly the young generation, they're seeking for things that they do not need. They're literally seeking for things that they don't need. You do not need the next Louis Vuitton. You do not need the next Dior bag. You do not need all that. But the society wants you to need it. You're going to see, for example, a quote on your favorite artist and you're going to want to buy it, but you do not need it. Your closet is so full, you don't even have place for that extra one clothes. You're going to tell yourself, oh, it's just a $60. No, it's just a $40. No, it's just a $15. No, it's just a $5. No, it's just a $10. And you do the count out, in a whole month you spend more than $1,000. Because you just said it's just a many things that you don't need, but they make you crave it. Exactly. Money is just one manifestation. How come don't you want to discuss your there's some things that some channels and stuff like that, they have their regulation, but I heard about Patreon that is way more open and all that, and there's some discussions that you can have there that on a lot of platforms you cannot talk about. Yeah, they stopped making the penny money for a reason. Hello, Jiro. Do they want that there? What do you mean, Adam? Batch. You're right. Is the love of money. I don't think it's just the love of money. People are getting greedy. It's greed. My theory about greed is caused by holidays. Holidays are what arouses a lot of greediness. The biggest greediness time ever is Christmas. The biggest greediness time ever is Christmas. Second one is, you know, those wholesale things, Black Friday and stuff like that. And then there's Valentine's Day. And then now they're creating holidays, like holidays, useless holidays. And then we have those Thanksgiving and then April Fool. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of things that are creating. But I think all that is all about greediness, and it is sad. Hedonic treadmill. What is that, Bill? Yeah, because like you want money that you're ready for anything for money. Like you could see families steal each other, unalive each other, and there are a lot of people that are selling their souls for money. Nobody's talking about that because it's all considered like conspiracy. It's crazy. And you see people like they're not even scared anymore. They don't even care about humans anymore. Imagine you like people can see somebody in danger, they're going to take their phone out to have more views because they are looking for the fame and the attention. People can do crazy stuff. I heard a story about a young girl just to have more followers, more fame, more attention. She started doing crazy stuff, coloring her hair and burning her hair to the point because she wanted to reach a number of followers. Others that are trying to act like they're rich, they build themselves this fake story lifestyle just to make people believe that they're rich. And there are people that are in miserable situations that really believe in those type of things, and they're craving that type of lifestyle, but they don't even need it. And that is the thing, because sometimes when I want to talk, for example, about business, head hedonic treadmill, it's constant the chase of desires without examining the origin of desires, so they don't really don't know the reason that they want, leading to never-ending chase but no fulfillment. Exactly. And social media really contributes to greediness. It's crazy, extremely crazy. Society feeds greediness. You see people, let's take an example else than money. Do you see how people are jumping into relationships? They're dating to date. Because you're beautiful, she's beautiful, he's beautiful. They get together because the public want them together because they're beautiful. They don't love each other. They're making money out of each other because that's what the public demands, and it gets them money. Because this guy famous and she's struggling, so she's going to get with him. She's getting a point out of it. You know, it takes time for people to understand that health is the real wealth. It takes time to understand for people that health is the real wealth. But how come I see a lot of Nigerian couples immigrate to America, Europe, and other nations to build billion-dollar opportunity in America? A lot of YouTubers are creating get rich fast contents because of the mindset. Because things that people need to understand, people can sell ideas. There are people that build ideas, people sell ideas, and both are making money. Somebody that sells ideas make money because the audience that people in America sell, they're getting money out of the ideas that they're selling because they know the crowd that they're talking to. Americans that are listening to this type of videos and believing in it is people that love dreaming, but they do not like putting in the work. Like, it's fun to tell yourself, okay, I'm going to listen to motivation podcasts. I'm going to start doing things. Yeah, I'm going to do things. And then procrastination goes on. By the end of the year, what did you do? What did you accomplish? Uh, uh, I don't know. What did I accomplish? But I listen to motivation podcasts. I listen to Fresh and Fit. I listen to Myron. I listen to Andrew Tate. I listen to Mr. Beast. I want to change my life around. I want to make money. I want to be successful. I want to be like them. Idea sells more than building. Because somebody who takes their camera, because I watch mainly people that build, because that is what I'm looking for. I'm looking about how to build, not how to get the idea, because getting the idea is really easy. I already have the mindset. Now I go to look at people, how do they build, where do they start, what are the business plan and project place, what are the business and plans to put in place. And I look for diverse opportunities too. Wait, are you happy? You look like a queen. Thank you, Budge. I have ideas to make money. I'm not getting funding. So you have ideas where you're not getting funding. There are many fundings. There are many ways to fund your ideas. If your ideas are very concrete, you could go and talk to there are many investing platforms that helps to invest in ideas. There are banks that invest in ideas, but it depends on how good your idea is. Informed questions. Do you do your research and pray before hand to improve life? Exactly. You're a princess of Wakanda, Wakanda forever. Okay. I could be in the next Wakanda, who knows? Procrastinate? No, don't put it off. Fresh and fit? Nah. Don't motivate nobody though. What do you mean? Fresh and fit is it. Come on now. They motivate people. They get you rich. What are you talking about? Fresh and fit got it like that. Come on. Also, beauty standards and the excessive vanity, like everybody is depressed in a certain way to have the type of appearance just to show it to others. That is insane. Do you know what is the insanest thing ever? Kim Kardashian. Kim Kardashian shocked a lot of people. I would never take her like a role model personally because those are not the role models I want to teach my kids. You know, there's also Cardi B. Those are not the role models that I want to show or teach my kids. But I'm so sad that social media pushes those type of role models for the young kids, the young females generation, pushing them into going into those zones and trying to push them to act like those females and get the money like them. Why they have better opportunities? Because there's some people that are put in some situation that they can control, but there are other people that are not forced to get into that situation, but they're too lazy to follow the normal way. So they normalize laziness, and whatever is easy for them, they're going to use it. Now, Kim Kardashian is one of the richest females ever. She's making crazy money. She has a lot of businesses running for herself. And women are going to be like, oh yeah, it's true that she sold her body. She used to do this type of videos, but at least now she's rich. The most important is to have money. Cardi B, is true that she was a stripper and stuff like that. She had to go to stripping, but now she has a lot of money. Why are they role models? Why are they considered as role models? Because society don't think about values anymore. They think about how to get money. They make you believe that success is money. That is the trick to society now. If you're broke, you're not successful. If you're rich, you're very successful. So either you're rich, either you're broke. You're broke, you're a loser. You're rich, you're a winner. W on you. Thank you so much, Max. That's the thing. She's very miserable. She is very, very miserable. I'm broke, so stop. No, I'm talking about a subject, not you, Amber. I'm talking about what society pushes in people's head. that people that are broke are supposed to feel ashamed, and people that are broke, I would never tell somebody to feel complacent. I would ask people, what is success to you? Okay. Yeah, I do play chess. I love chess. Exactly the same thing with beauty. If you're beautiful, you have value. If you're not beautiful, you don't. That's the problem with beauty. But do you know the trick? Do you know the problem with beauty? Beauty works for women in their primes. Women, when they're not in their primes, the beauty standards are invalid. Even if you're 40 years old, you do all the chirurgy that you want, men are not going to consider you like that anymore. You're not in your prime anymore. You're not the fresh body that you saw in you when you were young. And that is where the women that are being insecure, they do not focus much, because there are many men that they don't look at beauty, but a lot of women that think that men look at beauty, and a lot of women do the mistake of selling their body because they're beautiful, but they don't know that they're selling their dignity and they're selling their lifetime chance to build a family, because there's a lot of women that wants family. There are a lot of women that wants family. They're going to lie to themselves, but there are a lot that want family. There's a lot of people that are rich, but that they're depressed, that are not sad. Okay, give me 2 seconds. I have a question for you guys. Mm. From my origins, okay, let me put this anyway. Okay. Like that, I'm going to see everybody's different perspective about life. No, this is going to stress me out if it's crooked. Okay, good. Most of the time, it's a solution, but not always. No, society wants us to feel like money is the only solution, but it's not most of the time. They want us to take it as always the solution. Let me see how y'all think a little bit. I know my question is a little bit hard, but it's very important. Hello, Daniel. Faith gives money, value, and power, and other than that, just paper and ink. We are going to talk about faith. I have a lot. I know a lot of y'all will be surprised, but I will come slowly on y'all. I don't know if you guys read on the topic of my channel, but I'll come slowly on y'all. Slowly, little by little. I don't want to be too aggressive on y'all. Health and family, of course. Okay. The rich creates job silly. That is your opinion, Terry. You have the right to think what you want. I have one son, and he's pretty much all that matters to me. And that's the point in life, having family's wealth. Okay. Famous for being weird. Is that success? Of course not. What is your weight? Why? You go slow and just drop stuff. No, don't worry about it, Justice Crow. You'll be surprised actually. I don't know if you are going to be very well surprised or badly. I don't know. Hi, Matt. It depends on the personal health or family members' health. That's the real question. Queen and king. Ji Young, I would say health in general. I think everybody's health matters. Feeling down and recently caught autism. How come, Bunker? Because you're so skinny, so I asked weight. Well, I love my weight. A lot of weirdos are famous, but that is what they're pushing. There's what they're pushing. Now everybody needs to have a personality, identify themselves, and stick to their own values. That is when you do the difference. Are you a sheep or are you a, how do you call the person that leads sheep? I forgot the name in English because I have the name in French. Are you a sheep or are you a, how do you call it? I forgot the name in English, guys. I'm sorry. Nowadays, they make weird people rich and famous. It's very concerning, super concerning. Yeah. Are you people sheeps or helms? It's to people to decide. It would be great if my ex and I had worked out, but that wasn't in the cards for me. At least we're no bitter towards each other though, and I see my boy a lot. Yeah, wealth and family for sure. Yeah, health and family for sure. You see, everybody has their values, and that is what I love about talking and exchanging with people. It is very beautiful. Success is wealth. Any other answer is goofy. I'm not okay with that thing. Everybody has their values. Everybody values something. And I want to see what is more important to each and everyone. Hi, Khaled. If for you, health is way, way on the top, you have the right to choose it. By the way, I'm only 46 kilograms. I get it, but I do not see the point of talking about my weight here. Mental health, physical health are peak of success or big success. You can have a good family, friends, and everything. Okay, you're right about that. If it's personal health, it doesn't matter that much if everybody else is suffering, I think. People are always wanting to help everybody else and themselves, and it makes them get worse even. I would say look at the story of the Joker. The Joker was always helping everybody around laugh and smile. When I'm talking about the movie, he was making everybody else laugh, smile. He was nice to everybody, but inside he wasn't okay. Mentally, he wasn't okay. personally wasn't okay. He was really not going well. Plus, knowing that his mom was sick, he was really not okay. And that made him psycho. Another story, very scary, Jeffrey Dahmer. The dad of Jeffrey Dahmer gave up on his son since the age of 8, 9, because his dad noticed that he would unalive animals and keep their residues with him. His dad noticed that. Instead of his dad helping him, he ignored his kid. He was more focused on his relationship with his wife, cheating on her and getting himself another wife, than worrying about his kid's health. His health, he grew up and got crazier. So, personal health before helping others is always a priority, according to me. If you have a way to get out yourself, then you can help people. If you have no way to help yourself, you cannot help every person else. And I'll give you another example. Society made us feel guilty. Society always made us feel guilty about helping yourself and coming first. People will make you believe that you're selfish. And the story that I listen about, every successful men had to be selfish at some point in their lives to become successful. Why? Because I saw a difference between two members of my family. I have my grand uncle that everybody in the family is now begging for help from him. They're calling him mean, egocentric, very selfish, very this, very that, because he's one of the most wealthiest men in my country. But compared to my dad was helping everybody, but he would have been a very wealthy man by now. But he was helping everybody to remove the guilt. And when I took a time to talk to my dad and ask him about why didn't you do this, why didn't you do that, I understood it's because of all the guilt that even his wife, everybody around made him feel for him to have that level that he wanted to. Making you a bad person because you want to put yourself at the level that you want before helping others is a bad thing? No. It's actually a good thing. I believe that helping yourself first, putting you at the level that you want to be before helping others is a better thing. I think if Mr. Beast, for example, decided to be like all the other rich people and just focus on himself, I don't think he would get far with his career. At some point, he had to think about himself and try to keep something to feed. He showed that, yes, I give this money, but he has enough to live. He's in a good situation. He wasn't struggling. So that money didn't mean much for him then. Thank you, Phil. Thank you, Phil. You must fill your own cup first before it will overflow. Exactly. Good morning from Netherlands, Aaron. It's okay to feel. I was glad you're here. Now, how was your day? Antoine, you're back. That man mentioned his dad tried everything, but Jeffrey was just sick. What do you mean Dahmer mentioned his dad tried but Jeffrey was just sick? Jeffrey Dahmer is the same person. Am I the one that is not understanding? But Jeffrey Dahmer, his dad could do better. His dad, if he wanted really to help his kid, he could have helped him in other ways. If he really wanted to help his kids. You know, parents, when they really want to help, they can. If they don't want to, they're going to act like they tried. And a kid, I'm sorry to tell you, but a kid is not mature enough to make decisions. It's when a kid gets to be an adult that he gets mature enough to understand the decisions he's making and make it properly. Success is not cheating. If you cheat, you're not successful. You ain't no damn prom. Hi, Takim. But anyways, nah, but they want to establish the idea that you have to be selfish. I mean, of course, you don't have to be an idiot and help every random person, you know, but being selfish leaves you alone. That is false. That is very false. You need to be selfish for a long while to be able to achieve the goals that you need to get to before starting helping others. Because what is a big part of success is about focusing on your goals. And people that are seeing that you're getting to your goals are going to use every strategy to try to push you and break you down. And most of the time, family and friends are going to be the best obstacles in that, because you're going to use emotions and feelings to try to bully you down. And they're going to use those type of feelings like, oh, I'm your friend, I'm just asking you for just $50. But the thing that you don't understand is that when a friend is going to ask you for $50 today, they're going to expect you to give them $50 every time. The moment you do not give them that $150 that one time, you become the bad person, the worst person ever, an enemy to them. That's the thing. Same for the family. The family are going to always create problems and always complain about problems to problems to problems. Like, my dad is not done helping, and either way, the day that he said that he cannot help, my family was calling him all type of names and stuff like that. That is how it is. But my other uncle that made it and that is very, very successful, it went over him. His kids are very well placed. His wife has a very good situation. He can travel however he wants. He has a very established and good position. And now the family, it depends on what they need. Sometimes when he sends money to them, they just eat the money and they don't do nothing useful with that. And they lie to him a lot, telling them that we have business, we have projects, you don't want to invest on us, you're very egocentric, you're very selfish. But every time he sends money, they do not do shit with it. They just eat it and do nothing. Imagine if all his life, while he was struggling, he would give them every penny every time they were asking. There are people that are just natural beggars, and they want to disrupt your evolution. They want to make you feel guilty. They're going to ask you all the time to make sure you do not evolve, and they're going to check on you just to understand where you're going and where you're already at, because they do not want you to get to your successful point. And they're going to use your feelings and emotion against you. They're going to tell you that I'm happy for your success, but in their heart they're not happy for your success. So any way they can break it for you, they will use it against you. Oh, you do not care about your family. Look at your kids. Your kids need the next Play Store. Your kids need this. Your kids need tablets. Your kid needs, they have functional everything. They don't need all that. They want it, they don't need it. You can keep saving. So a little part of selfishness is good to evolve. And that is my point. Lookism, do you cheat? Have discernment and boundaries. It's not easy. It's not easy to have discernment and boundaries with family and friends. Family and friends is your forever weakest spot. Imagine your mom calling you every day to complain about, oh, the ceiling is broken. Oh, I need a new bed. Oh, I need this. Oh, I need that. Oh, I need that. You know she doesn't need that. You know she doesn't need that. It's not an emergency. You can always wait for later. It's because she knows you're doing a little bit of money and she wants to be already comfy, like if you're already that man. But she can wait for you to grow longer. Wait for you to start doing at least 200K. Like that, in those 200K, you can take away 10,000 and give it to her. People do not understand the meaning of wealth. It's not because you do 200K that you're supposed to give 100K to your mom. And not because you give 10K to your mom on 200K that you don't love her. I don't understand if you guys understand. I love the look. Thank you. Some friends are even worse. Yeah. Friends are going to always borrow you small amounts, but you will not see it. By the time you know, you have nothing left all the time. That one friend, the day you say no, you're the worst enemy ever. No, I don't like money. I like to pray Allah. That is your opinion. But I'm sure that God doesn't stop nobody to have money, but He wants people to be mindful while using it and not get used by money, but control their way of using money. We don't know, ma'am, situation. We must protect mama. All costs, I will fix her problems myself. You don't understand me, Phil. There are sometimes your mom is just being petty, but she does, it's not a necessary. The things that she wants and it's not an emergency. I don't know if you understand. Because me, I learned it from my grandma. I learned it from my grandma. I really learned it from my grandma. I have people in the family that were successful very young, but they never helped my grandma, and my grandma always found her way around it. And when the kids that love her the most started making enough money, and they regrouped together and then they fixed every of her problems. But before that, she was doing her thing, not complaining about nothing, because she's an understanding mom to her kids. Because the adulthood is not easy. Having 5 kids, 6 kids, 7 kids, having households, having reality is not easy. But sometimes you need to take some decisions for a little while. It doesn't mean that you don't care or you don't like them. Because then my uncle, for a long while, his wife, she had to work her way. Their kids, they were like, you know, he wasn't doing too much. He was getting more money and saving and saving. Now they have the best lifestyle ever. They live in penthouse. They can take a jet from today or tomorrow to get wherever they want. But like 15 years ago, like it wasn't like that. There's certain sacrifice that we need to take for a short time. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter, I don't do it. Wait a minute, did I miss it? What? Oh, okay. Okay. Wakanda music, do you like? Yes, I love it. I will silence a repeated question that she apparently doesn't want to answer. Okay. Grandma are so important for family because they know how to build a family, of course. And their understanding and their age give them knowledge. Us, I don't know how you guys call grandmas in all of your countries. I don't know where everybody's watching me from, but us in Africa, we see grandparents as libraries. We call them living libraries. They tell us so many fun stories. They tell us about life. It depends about what you want to know. If you're a baby type of person, they're going to tell you about tales and stories. If you're a grown-up person, they're going to tell you and educate you about life. It depends on everything and how you approach them. The more they see you're smart, the more they're open to answer your question, make you learn about life and realities and stuff. The more you're just, you can learn if you want to learn. You won't learn anything if you do not want to learn. Being selfish is bad, but helping other people without expecting anything in return is just saying no. People wants things simultaneously, or just saying no to people. It's easy to say no. No, I'm not saying that being selfish is a good thing, but to get to your goals, you have to be temporarily selfish to get to your goals, because trying to want to help everybody depending on where you want to get in life, it depends. If you're a person that your happiness is just having some money and that's it, okay, it's good. You can help everybody every day and however you want. But if you want to be successful, that way will not work with you. You will never get to your goals. I don't know. Well, that is my opinion, Daniel, but it's up to you. We have different way of thinking. Yeah, we have things, different way of thinking. That is, having boundaries is not selfish. That's the thing, but sometimes people do not know how to put their boundaries, and there's some people that are way too nice, so they don't know how to have boundaries. They just don't know how to have boundaries. I don't know if y'all understand me. So you're going to tell somebody no, try to tell the person no, but people are more and more manipulative nowadays, and you don't know from where it's going to get to you. Like sometimes, I just want to tell you, I know you guys are going to be very quick and easy to answer. There's some men that, they're with this girl and they're liking her more and more and they want a serious relationship and stuff like that. But then she would see that he has a soft spot, okay? And then she's going to start manipulating it. Oh, I need money for this, or I need money for that, or I need this, because she sees that he's a giver. Because she sees that he's a giver and he can't say no and stuff like that. And when she started seeing that he started putting boundaries, then she will get more manipulative. Oh, well, you said you loved me. Well, I wanted to have kids with you, but is it how you're going to act when we're going to have kids? When we're going to grow up? Is it how you're going to act if we have this and that? It is, it is going to be way harder, It is going to be way, way harder. Wait a minute. Do not get mad, sir. Okay. Do not get mad, sir. Look, there's some changements that I did. Don't get mad. I hope you saw that, Philly. Don't get mad. I hope you saw it. So try again. You're going to see the difference. One more minute. What happened? You're going to understand. When somebody's going to come with a bad comment, you're going to understand. But it's also sad. A lot of grandmas and grandpas are putting their elderly homes. Oh, you just gave me a subject. You missed it. You're going to see. When somebody's going to come in an impolite way, you're going to see it. And by the way, for my mods, I have a Patreon page now. I'm going to go easy on Patreon because I'm learning how it works. But there are some topics that you guys are going to have to ask me, and I will do videos about it and post on Patreon, and you guys will be able to see it. So my mods and everybody that wants to join my Patreon, because there's a subscription fee. So, you know, yeah. Did something happen? No, it's just that I changed his mod options. That's why. Okay, you talked about elderly homes. What do y'all think about? Because you know Philly is my first mod, so I gave him some advantages because he comes here every day, every day when he can. So, you know, I upgrade people the more they do a good job. I'm not saying you didn't do a good job, just crew. What do you think? Uh, Give me 1 second. I had to talk about this. I love y'all. I love people that love to debate with respect. I love you guys. They can have. They're mean people sometimes. Okay, I don't know what that means. No, I gave him. There are many options in moderations. Like there are two options in moderations, and you know, I just put your mod today, but Philly, he's my mod since day 3 or 4. So, and he's very consistent every day, and he spends a lot of time when he has more time and less and stuff like that. And you came in like I think 2 or 3 days ago, so I'm just getting to know you, you know. And you're doing a great job as a mod, so I'm grateful. So, yeah. Where's the other guy? What is the name? I forgot. Like, I know I have like 6 mods or 4 mods, 5 mods, I think. Can men and women be friends? That is a question for another time. I'm going to write that down. We're going to have fun about it tomorrow. If you can come back tomorrow, that would be fun. Did you set a different Philly? I'm honored. Philly just understood. Philly just understood. So yo, you're so funny. You're so funny. You're so funny. Wait, just screw. What is wrong? Come on, you won't do that to everybody. Relax, 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 relax. Hi, welcome in, Six Maka. Ask, you shall receive. Yeah, you're funny, Justice. Hi, Donkey. How are you guys? I'm laughing. Thank you, Six. Are your eyes? Are your eyes are the oceans? Because at the moment I saw them, I became lost and I drowned in. That is so cute, Jefferson. Thank you. Thank you so much. It's Yara and she is wearing Timberlands right now. What is about Tiara? I don't understand. You read at the speed of the light? Funny. What do y'all think about elderly centers? I forgot to write centers, but we are talking about elderly centers. I could see that 21 people were in the chat when we are talking about elderly centers. What do you guys think about elderly centers? What do you guys think about elderly centers? What do you guys think about elderly centers? Vote, 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 vote. I want to see the maximum votes. Share the live out. Share the live out. I want the most comments on this. We need to talk about this, on the unfairness of how elderly people are treated in America, North America, USA, and in Europe. Like, this is a piece of unfairness and BS. Us, we're so eager to be older people in Africa. I don't know about the other type of countries, but I know about Africa. We are so eager to be elders because we know how much power elders have in Africa. We know how much authority they have in Africa. We know how much they're blessed in Africa. You know, we love elderly people in Africa. Like, there's some that are very, very like mean, but those that get mean is just like ugh, they just got frustrated about life and stuff like that, or jealousy because there's some families that men have a lot of wives, so those elderly women get to be frustrated and very mean. But most of the time, grandmas are like very appreciative, very loved. Everybody wants to be around grandma because grandma saves her ass around parents because she tells the parents the truth that, hey, yo, you mama, you papa, you guys were doing this when y'all were young, so be careful with my little baby, righty? We love those grandmas, you know? And that to us as Africans, we see elderly centers as the biggest shame and disrespect ever invented. And I've worked in elderly homes, and it's sad. They don't visit their parents. It's like they don't even care about them. Like, they want to get rid of their parents. And they keep putting them on weird meds and stuff like that. That is mean. And most of the meds make them lose their memories, make them lose a lot. And I'm going to talk to you guys about on Patreon a lot of things about elderly people here in America, what happens to them really. There is no love for them there, and it's not fair. And it breaks my heart when I see people throwing elderly people in elderly centers. Their history. Elderly people should be seen as history. And I'm so sad because, you know, in America, I was so shocked how people would be disrespectful to parents. And obviously, if kids are disrespectful to parents, how do you think they're going to care about their parents when they get older? They use their parents when they become parents, because I see a lot of young parents that use their parents when they still have good health, good energy, good everything in them, and when they get more older they just throw them in the elderly centers, and it's very heart wrecking. And I'm like, how can human beings live like that? My grandma, when she used to come here, I told her, Grandma, never think that we're going to put you in that type of situation. If you don't feel well, just go back to Africa. You know how we will take care of you right there. We don't want her, we never wanted her to stay here. Unfortunately, she passed away because of the COVID vaccine, but that is another thing. They do not understand how precious elderly people are. Being, I did, um, I worked with the elderly people for 2 years, and it was the best 2 years of vacation of my life. Like 3 months of vacation twice. I worked with them. I was there and helping and stuff. It was the best vacation of my life. I was so excited to go and see them. I would learn a lot from them, a lot. And you could see how sad they were when I would leave. They were like, no. They took me like their grandkid. Because they said, my grandkids don't come and see me. And I'm like, how? You see me, I would make them laugh. And they were cracking up like, damn, it's been a long time. We didn't have fresh air. They need kids around. They need young people around. They need youth, young parents. You know, you have your family going on. You can go to them and be like, damn, mama, you were right. Do you see what happens at home? But you can even get them out of there and spend time with your grandparents. Of course, grandparents are rude. Do you see the tons of medications they get? Do you know why your grandparents became rude? You do not know what happened to them. You know something? I used to work in that elderly center. There was this one grandma. Y'all are going to think that I want to say that white people are racist, but it's not about that. Her, she didn't like black people in general, you know. She was very rude and very mean to me. And then this one day, she was very, very mean to me, very rude. This one day, I decided to serve her food, and like she threw the food away, and I looked at her, and then I started crying. And then I looked at her in the eyes, and she was acting like she didn't care. I brought her again her food, she threw it again. I brought her again her food, and she looked at me. And I looked at her and I said, I love you. Don't worry, it's okay. And then she looked at me, she started crying. And I gave her a hug, and she started crying too. And I was like, what is wrong? And she's like, I never felt this type of attention before. Why did you keep giving me my food? I was mean to you. And I was like, you're a human being. I understand. I said, where are your kids? Where is everybody? What happened to you? She said, oh, my daughter doesn't care about me. She's frustrated with me. She never talked to me since I came to the center. I said, how long has it been she didn't come? 20 years. 20 years she didn't see her daughters nor her grandkids. Can you understand now why she was rude to me? Why she was mean and being racist? She didn't grow up around black people. She's discovering black people getting to that center, and then her kids never meted her since they throw her in that center. Eagerness and frustration, that's how they become. Amen. People need love, not frustration. People need love. And elderly people, I can never judge them because people don't understand. Elderly people, either they get old with wisdom, and if they're not loved, not cared about, treated like kids, they become kids again. I don't know if y'all understand. If Because if you go, I don't know if y'all ever went to Africa, most of y'all, if y'all traveled, but if y'all travel and try to get in contact with, when you get to Africa, ask them if you can meet elderly people. You're going to see the difference. Elderly people in Africa, they're so mature, they know so much. They don't act like babies here. Like here, we see elderly people acting like babies because people are treating them like babies, careless people, and stuff like that. Because there's no love, no respect, no nothing. It was broken since a big while ago. That we respect them so much. Do you know how strong elderly people are in Africa? Yo, there's this one time. I don't know what I was doing, but I was annoying one of my grandmas. It was the grandma from the side of my mom. I was annoying her. Yo, the day she gave me a slap, I was like, damn, grandma, you ain't old at all. She's 85 years old and she slaps me, and I think it was an army guy who just slapped me, and I was like, damn, it hurts. You think she's so strong, and you see what she's carrying sometimes. I'm like, how do you do that? She's like, you think that because I'm old that I don't have strength in me anymore? Like, hello? I've been farming for a lot of years. Like, hello? Who do you think I am? I carry heavy things around. I do a lot of things. I walk around all day. So you're like, damn. And when she sits down, when we sit down around the fire, they tell us crazy stories. You look eternal. You're so sweet. You guys are trying to guess my origins. Damn, that's crazy. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna save you, princess. You're right. I've seen my grandparents trail into like child again. Took care of my grandma too, and she was on those drugs. Is that is the purpose of those drugs? We're going to talk about it on my Patreon because there's a lot of things here I cannot talk about, but it is very sad. It is so sad. That is so, so sad. Treating elders like babies, and people actually made adults believe that elderly people are babies. I promise y'all, just bring one of your elderly parents in Africa to meet the other elderly elders. Leave them for 2 months there. Not even 2 months, 1 month. Your grandma is going to come back with certain type of energy. You guys are going to be like, what happened to you there? Huh? Y'all are going to be shocked. Y'all are going to be like, what? What did we miss? Y'all need to bring your grandparents on vacations to Africa. Y'all are going to see that it's just about, I like chatting with old folks at church. Exactly. They are so wise. Thank you. Pharmacia. I'm great, Erlan. Do you like Senza? I didn't listen to her for a long time. elderly centers are punishment. I promise you guys. And imagine being stuck in a room alone in front of a TV. No, she's just old. No, she's just old. No, she's just old. And they have nothing interesting to watch. They do babies' activities. Damn, it hurts. Hi, King King. Yes, I am. One a man, twice a child. That's why they're making them become. That is another subject that we're going to talk on the other side. On my Patreon, we are going to talk about that subject. I know that YouTube, there's a lot of subjects that we cannot really mention here, but we're going to talk about it on the other subject. And people that are going to want to hear about that, we're going to do that there. Let me learn how it works. And we're going to talk about it. I know to God we are little children, but in this world, elderly people, parents, you're very cold. But what hurts me is that when you come here, even parents change mindsets. Parents don't act like parents. It's kids that becomes parents. Kids are parenting their parents here in America. It is unbearable to me. It is really unbearable to me. And your parents are your teachers. Like, hello, what? It is insane. Inevitable. What is about inevitable? Where are you from? I'm from Canada. Oh, did I just join Princess Live? Hi, Nas. Yo, it's really mad and it hurts me and it sickens me. I'm like, ugh. I just get so pissed, so hurt. I would cry every time I would get out of that elderly center. Do you know the worst moment of my life in Canada? It's when I work in a hospital. Elderly centers are the better stage of old people here. Hospitals are nightmares for elderly people. That is this topic that we're going to talk another time. I'm going to let you guys, I'm going to go and sleep and rest. We have a lot to talk about. There's so much I want to say. There's so much I want to talk about. I really hope the new gen is going to care about grandparents. I love the fact that TikTok made us connect with elderly people. TikTok made elderly people feel young again. I'm so happy of what TikTok did, reuniting kids with elderly people. It made it fun, it made it joyful, and I really hope that the next gen are going to care more. No matter what my parents does to me, I rather build them mansions in Africa, crazy mansion, and send them there and have mates take care of them. And I have my cousins walk them around, help them around and stuff like that, for them to stay educated and build and stuff like that. and they still keep their authority, their sanity, and all that. I would never want my parents in an elderly center, and we would never accept that. No, it hurts. It hurts. There are many truths that when you cannot talk about it, you see it, you're like, ugh. Hi, Amatoy. Oops, too late. What? Hold on, don't delete Alex yet. Sylvie, please address Alex. Phil is too fast. Phil, he's having fun. Oh, thank you so much, Antoine. I told you I don't like to talk about the same thing all the time, all the time, all the time. We can variate, we can differentiate. I want people to get knowledge. My gift for people is knowledge. I want them to open their hearts. And my purpose on social media is to spread love and awareness. I want people to remember. I want people to remember that we are humans. We are not bots, we are humans. I know that a lot of haters are people that are frustrated about their misery, their sad life, and all that. And it hurts me to see them in that position, but I cannot really do much for them. Because they got to a point that either they don't care or I won't change anything. But for others that I can impact, that's who I am here for. All my homies love their grandparents. Of course, grandparents are gold. People don't know it yet. Grandparents are gold. Don't you see all those African movies? Go and watch Wakanda, Woman King. You see how elderly peoples are treated like jewelry, gold, rarity. Like, to be around an elderly person, oh God. Me, I'm scared to be around my grandfather because I know that there's some behaviors that I've lost. So I will be like, ooh. Because them, I know my grandfather. If I come to him and I'm like, when I'm around my grandfather, I know I cannot talk a lot. But he knows that I'm not somebody smart. I cannot talk a lot. But when he gives me the right to speak, he knows I'm going to overtalk. It's not that he's mean, but you need to respect elderly people. You need to respect experience. You need to respect. Because what my grandparents taught me is that elders are the examples. Do you know that elders in Africa respect kids? Elders in Africa respect kids. They value kids. Kids are super important. And they make sure to be an example. That's the difference. There are some people, that's why, when you see your dad, when he talks to your mom, he's very kind, he's very polite, he's very soft with your mom. When you're going to talk to your mom, are you going to be aggressive to your mom? No. You're going to see how your dad did it and you're going to be like, damn, okay, so to mama, I cannot talk to her anyhow. Mama, how are you doing? You're going to be respectful because your dad showed you the example. Then you see how your grandpa is treating your mom, you're going to be like, oh, okay, I need to be peaceful and respectful. And you see how your mom and your dad acts in front of your grandpa. You're like, okay, yeah. But if you're just there anyhow, your mom is just talking to you anyhow, like you're her bestie, like, get the. Where's the respect? Where's the. There's some manners and morals that you need to learn. Okay, girl, you're clocking it like you're so funny. Thank you, Liana. People are sad because women and money both are like this. That's why people are like this. Huh? Knowledge is power. Knowledge power. Everybody always remember that she gives us germs. If you speak Spanish, there are good songs, subjects of elders lived in homes, Robin Blades, Camila de Pios. I don't speak Spanish yet. That is another thing on my list. You don't answer to my question. Can you tell me why? Hey, how's it going? I didn't say when I'm talking, like, I'm very passionate when I talk. So it takes me time to see some messages. So don't be frustrated. I'm a very passionate person. When I talk, I don't look at the comments because it can disconnect me from what I'm saying. I don't know what is that say. Is it a compliment? Hi Logan. She ain't no gold digger. Sylvia, I put my TikTok link in my bio if ever want to have a conversation. Okay, I'm just going to screenshot it. But anyways, guys, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to finish with my Patreon, and everybody from my YouTube community, we can discuss direct messages or not, like direct messages from my Patreon. We can talk about a lot of things. We're going to be living and all that. We're going to talk about a lot of things. I'm planning. Don't worry. I'll be rich. Amen to that, Antonio. You will be rich. You have a good day. Good night. I have an amazing day. An amazing night. What kind of poll is that? It's talking about early people. Hi, hey Logan. Where are you from? I'm new to your channel. Logan, I'm from Canada. Welcome, Logan. Unfortunately, I'm going off. Guys. So see y'all. See y'all. I'm going off. Okay. See y'all tomorrow. It was a great day. We did a lot of discussions and stuff like that. Hi, Logan. We had a great discussion. We're going to talk about more about it. We can talk about topics. Sometimes you can propose me topics that we can address. And when I'm going to try to get into deeper things, we're going to meet. Why you're pushing back? See y'all tomorrow. Okay, thank you for the lessons. Aw, you're so sweet, guys. Hi, welcome in for the new people and see y'all. Have a great night. Bye-bye.